short, quick update. We're 180 degrees inaccurate here. The low volatility has resolved itself to the upside, and we've had an impulsive pump. Moderate volume, not extreme yet, but it did take out the previous highs. So what will happen next? As we've been inaccurate here, a mild pullback like this could set up a real impulsive move that gets us through this hard yards, aka these red lines and these green lines, which are legacy funnels. That's where you want to go. That then makes the 4/7s target of the inverted head and shoulders a possibility up top here. That in of itself, if it was to be made, would invalidate the super macro, and that would be a bullish signal. Once you start to get one or two calls wrong, you have to look at your super macro bias. Remember that the super macro is green light. The trend view, which is the daily chart, is a red light. It's been in a bear setup with a bear downtrend. Also, just in terms of why we did that, that low squeeze there, we got a spill. This low squeeze as we came out of channels and wedges also was a spill. So it was reasonable to think that there would be a decent chance that the spill would occur. But the low volatility tells you something impulsive will occur, and that's why you get it 180 degrees wrong. But if you have your stops in, you take smaller losses quicker, and that means even though you're 180 degrees long, they don't have to cost you unnecessarily. Yep, so what will come next? There's a third way. You could have the move and just not make much progress towards the target and churn and then sell off and just be in this uneasy, unclear, not quite a bull, not quite a bear stage. And those are really awkward. Traders tend to lose money in those areas. Only range traders, people who buy lows and sell highs, tend to make money. And most of us are trend followers, which is a terrible kind of period for Bitcoin for when that occurs. So we want to watch out for being too active or being too big during this period until such time as trend has been clarified. Where will the next big impulsive move occur? That was impulsive, that was impulsive. These are smaller, but they're sudden. But that said, they also were making marginally higher highs, which were why I still think we were justified to give it a go to the south side. But this has clearly shown otherwise. As I mentioned, volume is not overly dominant. So don't be too cocksure. This is not getting the bunting out and back to bull. It's just an extension of the rally for now, and the possibility of a triggered pattern that could go up to the 7,770s level, which in of itself could invalidate this downside and set up a new left shoulder, bigger head, and then if you just had a bit of a pullback after making the target, which is very typical, you could get a right shoulder. So that could start a building block of a more sustainable long-term move for Bitcoin, but don't expect it to be full-blown bull like you were there. And this single candle does not change the overall bias yet, but it is a warning. And after a number of warnings, especially if you're taking losses, as I will have done, you don't want to keep entering with the original bias. This is a feedback mechanism. Don't ignore it. The market will keep taking your money. So hence why trade small and watch out and maybe stand back during the indifferent trend periods. Can't advise though, that's just what I'll be doing. So trade safe, and we'll catch up with you as we get any further insights on the crypto realm.